Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general mid-month reading for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon and Ascendant for the last 2 weeks of November. I almost said the month. It's not. It's going to be shorter than the main monthly read because it is just covering that 2-week period. So, and as with the videos last month, we're going to be concentrating on looking for the lesson of the energy that you are in at the moment. So if that doesn't quite make sense to you, hold fire, wait until the cards come out, and I'm sure all will become clear. I'm using the Earth, Flesh and Bone Stone Tarot for you today. So let's have a look. I have 3 cards for Libra, please. Whoa. I'm going to take that one, it toppled over my hand. Shuffle it back in so if it wants to come out, it can. Can I have 3 cards for Libra, please? Okay. 2 jumped out together. We've got 9 and 10 of Cups. That's interesting, Libra. All right. Go big or go home. Can I have 2 more cards for Libra, please? Current energy. I'm going to take that one, 3 of Cups. I'm going to put all of these that have come out here back, and 1 more card. Thank you, King. Wow, this is a very emotional energy you find yourself in at the moment. Oh goodness, right? We've got the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck here, which is interesting. That's fire energy, obviously. But it talks about creativity and passion. It talks about a real zest for life. And honestly, if you're on top of your emotional state, as well as this seems to indicate at the moment, I can see why that is. But it is underpinned by the 8 of Cups. There is something that you have moved away from. There is something that you have let go. Something that was, in fact, I would think, tethering your soul in some way. And we've got the 6 of Pentacles underneath that, which is, you know, it's about balance. Balance. Reciprocity sometimes, charity sometimes. But a state that you personally, you know, as a Libra, are in constant kind of pursuit of. It's not necessarily that you are by nature completely balanced all of the time. Sometimes it's the pursuit of balance that marks you out as a Libra and beyond anything else. But I like this, and I like this very much. Every single card is a Cups card. And like I said, the first 2 rather, are this 9 and 10 of Cups. Now this is meant because 9s always indicate the individual for me, right? So this is about taking ownership of the fact that you are responsible for your mental state at any given point, right? Your emotional state. You can choose what you react to, what you don't react to. You know, you take ownership of all of it. What makes you happy? How do you cultivate that in your life? You know, all of these kinds of considerations. But then a step beyond, because it isn't just about you, it's about the collective. There's something here in your energy which is released, you know, because we've had that 8 of Cups there. We've gone from the 8 to the 9 to the 10. There's a process implied that you have undergone that has necessitated you releasing something, you letting go of something, maybe something that you've been hanging on to for a very long time that you weren't aware of, that has now, you know, come into your consciousness. It's interesting that Mars has gone direct finally after 2 months of being in retrograde, and that energy was very frustrating for a lot of people, because it wasn't like the energy went anywhere. It wasn't like it just stopped and everybody felt like slugs. There was energy there, but it was feeling, it was expressing itself as tension. It was expressing itself as frustration and a lack of creative output. Honestly, for the want of a better phrase, it's just like there was no direction for it to go. So everybody just kind of wandered around feeling listless and frustrated, right? Now, on top of that, it seems like there may have been things from your past, and I do feel like it's from your not recent past, but further away than that, that you finally used this retrograde energy to kind of shine a light on. You couldn't actively do out in the world that which you wanted to do, so you went within, right? Now Mars is direct, that energy has shifted, that need to stay still has gone, and oof, you know, like Aries is pretty much taken off vertically, as was to be expected. But you've certainly taken some of that energy on. And there's a real sense of knowing what is important, right? And not just for you, but for those around you, those you care for, you know, and we can care for much more than just is what is in our immediate environment, right? So I'm thinking that there are relationships that we have with people now online. There may be people that you don't even know, that you do know them, that you've never met in real life, that actually are quite important to you, and they feed into your sense of general contentment, right, in the world. They are friends, in all but the fact that you've, you know, never met. And there's a sense of you doing this for other people too, right? This is kind of like, this is a two-way process. And it's just divine. I love it, Libra. I really, really love it. And it segues actually really, really nicely onto this card here, which is the Three of Cups, which for me is a card of emotional support networks. And I don't feel like these people who are around you, this emotional support networks, are people that you see on the daily. I don't get a seeing kind of thing. It feels like it's so weird. It feels like online friends, right? But all three cards, all these three cards are actually quite busy. Right, they're quite busy cards. There's a lot going on in them, even though the themes are fairly simple. You know, you look at the brush strokes and the artwork, right? They're all really busy, but they're all connected, you know, and it feels like you've been finding your tribe, Libra, and I don't want to say a sense of belonging, although there is sort of a sense of belonging. There's just a sense of the people that are around you at the moment are really, really good people, whether they are physically right there in front of you or elsewhere. It doesn't matter, right? You're responding to them in the same way. And there's an awful lot of comfortable emotional expression is what I'm feeling here. The final card that you've got there is the King of Cups. That's Scorpio energy, but it's it speaks to emotional mastery, right? It's the pinnacle of the cup suit, so it's the pinnacle of the it's the active masculine expression of the cup suit. Let's say it's the pinnacle, because it's not, because I think that undermines the Queen somewhat, and the Queen's got just as much power as the King does. It's just expressed differently. Tell me about the King of Cups, please. Yeah, this is, we've got the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of this deck now. Like, if you haven't started some sort of business, I'd be very surprised, right? That for some of you, that is absolutely the case. You have started something up and you're putting your heart and your soul into it. This emotional mastery is coming from that which you did release. This is where your contentment's coming from. It's not necessarily from the people around you, although they are very, very good people. Something internally with you has shifted. The way that you relate to people has shifted. You let stuff go, right? You see the difference here between these two cards. They're the Four of Cups, the Four of Pentacles. He's got his feet planted on, he's got one on his head, and he's clutching it to his chest, right? Holding on really, really tight to something. In the Knight of Pentacles, he's got one pentacle, just the one. He knows how important it is, and he's got it up there in front of him, right? It's like leading with what is important to you, right? Identifying what is important to you and using that and that alone to move forwards. The other three of his, they don't matter, they're not important, right? And you've let them go. We've seen that already. Proceeding with the important thing. And the difference that it's made to your life is huge. That's how it feels here. So let's have a look at the lesson. Right? I mean, this is a really good place to be in. Tell me what Libra needs to know about the lesson here, this energy. Fuck. Lesson of this energy, please. I was going to put those back, but actually I'm going to leave them out because there's 3 cards and I wanted 3 cards. 2 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Maybe some of you have met someone, you know, that's possible, but I feel like you've shifted your thinking about emotional relationships, right? They don't have to be romantic. It's not about that. You know, that's all just differing levels of physical intimacy at the end of the day. But the Page of Swords absolutely speaks to me about changing the way that you think about things. It's kind of like broadening your mental horizons in some way. And, you know, at this point, this Page of Swords energy is actually slightly chaotic. Like there's a lot of power there, but not yet the control. It's like because this is new to you, you feel it very powerfully, but you haven't quite worked out how to not even harness it. What am I after here? Direct it, I guess. No, because you are directing it. It's just powerful. It's just really, really powerful at this point. And the 2 of Cups, you know, changing the way that you see interactions with other people, you know, what it is that you take from it, what you bring to the table. The exchange, it feels like it's elevated, right? Now, looking for the lesson, what we've got is the 4 of Pentacles there, right? The Empress and Strength. And it feels like you've learned, like, this lesson energy, you've taken it and you've run with it, because we've got the fucking 4 of Pentacles again for a start, right? The importance of release, that feels like it's what you've understood, you know? You can cling to things until you're literally a fucking skeleton, all the flesh has, you know, rotted off your body. Clinging to things doesn't keep them there. Eventually all will go, all will die. You know, you've got to let things just kind of move in and move out. This feels like an important lesson that you've learned for you. But the next card is the Empress, which is all about fertility and abundance. You know, it's how she's pregnant there. She's kind of plugged into that tree. I love this card. I finally love this entire deck, to be honest. The pregnancy is important because here we've got a card of release and here we've got a card of new potential. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, right? That which you released created space for something new to come in, and what's come in seems like absolutely magnificent for you. And then we've got Strength. Love this Strength card as well. You know, it's Leo energy, but it talks about it's not about wrestling lions, it's about soul growth. You know, it's about strength of character, it's about inner strength, and it takes a lot to let go of things. It's a brave act to let go of things, and this is what you've done. And it feels like there's been a really simple equation gone on here, which is you've realised things needed to be let go. You've let them go, and you've got an awesome result as a result. And you're just like, well, that actually was really, really simple. I don't know why I resisted it for quite so long. But there it is. So let's get you some advice, although it does seem like you're in a really good place at the moment, Libra. I have some cards of advice for you, Libra, please. Behave. What's the advice for Libra? I think this deck's got a mind of its own, I swear to God. You see what I mean? Wow, there's a real gentle dignity about this reading, Libra, I have to say. I love it. We've got the star at the bottom of the deck. That is all about healing, and it's all about hope, and sometimes it's about a bit of faith and wishing as well. But it's about connection to me. It speaks to me of connection. That's my word for the star. And the connection that occurs when we release the things that were resisting the connection in the first place, I mean, that feels like what's happened here. You know, that's that bird. This is just bursting straight through the chest of the chap there. But yeah, gentle dignity here. We've got the Six of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles, all as advice cards. And I actually really love them. Like the Six of Cups, just more cup energy to be on the table here. But it's it talks to me of the past. It talks to me of sometimes childhood, sometimes of your way back when kind of past. Sometimes it talks about past lives, and sometimes it talks about soulmates, right? Soul connections. And it seems like you are absolutely replete with them at the moment. It seems like you just kind of called loads of them in. And then we've got this Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles for me is always talking about your self-worth, your own sense of your value, you know, what you bring to the world, completely aside from what you can do for people in the world, like you as a soul. What do you bring to the world? You bring a lot. And there's a sense of your own, of an understanding of your own purpose is what I keep getting. Purpose, you know, it's almost like the stuff has aligned around you at the moment, Libra, right? And it'll be slightly different for all of you, but it seems like there are new people who have come in, and it feels like it's little, I want to say lit a fire, because I don't feel like because it's too gentle and too dignified. It's like lit a candle inside you. Just, and this energy is so gentle and respectful and all that kind of thing. But this hasn't happened by accident. You've kind of called all this in. You've called it in for you, and you are taking from it a lot of comfort and a lot of, you know, feelings of emotional fulfillment, but you are reciprocating on exactly the same level, right? And whatever it is that you're working on at the moment, and for some of you it's working with your hands, whether that's like energy work, or you're an artist, or you're creating something, you know, what it is that you're creating is really important right now, and it is important that you continue to do so. I just want to pull a clarifier for that, because I'm absolutely boggled by this message. I'm hoping that it's going to make sense for the Librans who watch this. Tell me about this Eight of Pentacles, please. Queen of Cups. Oh. Yeah, we've got so much quiet energy, quiet dignity. I love it. We've got the Lovers card at the bottom of the deck here that talks about, you know, stepping up and making choices that affect your life, right? Not hiding from them, going, no, this is what I'm going to do. It feels empowered, like really empowered. And in part it's because of the people that are around you, but you can't give all of the credit to that for the way that you feel, because the work that was done, the shift is yours. Whatever you are working on now, it is an expression of your emotion. It's an expression of how you show up in the world. And you need to continue, because it's something actually quite important for the collective, it says here. The Hermit card makes me think that you know exactly what it is, and you know exactly how important it is, and where you might have previously kind of second guessed it and overthought it and all that kind of, there's just a simple acceptance that you are here to do this thing, and you are doing this thing now, you know, and it is right now, you know, it's oh, I love it, Libra. I hope this has made sense to someone. I hope that I've managed to express what I'm feeling here, but this is wonderful. It's been really fascinating this month to see. It's almost like the end of term, right? We're halfway through November, right? So December will be the last month of the year. But it almost feels like when you're bringing home your school reports, and each one of the signs has done so much work this year. And I've said in every single reading, what you fix for yourself, you fix for the collective. because I've seen evidence of it in literally every single video that I have done for the mid-months here. It's like your scorecards, like you all have passed with flying colours. I absolutely adore it. So, I'm not sure what kind of bird that is. I think it's a goose flying by, but never mind. There's probably a message there for one of you. Know that I love you all very much, and I will see you soon.